Hello!
Hi camera. iGEM stands for International Genetically Engineered Machine.
iGEM is a
international competition.
Students from all over the world will compete and collaborate with each other.
Synthetic biology competition between students in different universities, although it can take place in high schools as well and PhD students.
Where you have to use synthetic biology to try and tackle a problem that faces the world on a local scale or international scale.
I like saying it's like a battle of the bands, but with science.
Yeah, so it's like interdisciplinary, which means you got all these different people coming together to make your cake.
iGEM to me is an interdisciplinary project bringing together different schools within the university. So at the moment we've got one mathematics student, which is myself, we've got a mathematical biology student, we've got a physics student and a computer student, and we've got a team of 6 biologists.
I think that's really what iGEM is, and I think it's also about making sure that young people put something back into the community or into science community.
It doesn't feel like a competition, it feels like all the universities are helping each other out so we can all gain the same knowledge.
Okay, so synthetic biology is like Lego bricks, that's why iGEM has a Lego brick.
Biology and engineering to construct a bacteria which has a useful property.
Creating biological systems or parts, engineering them, changing the way they work, to try and create something useful.
Using engineering concepts like interchangeable parts.
It's taking some sort of property
From one thing and putting them in something else where you wouldn't normally find them, and using it for a completely new purpose.
I don't think people really understand fully what synthetic biology entails as a field.
It's kind of like taking all these like little Lego blocks and building something together to make something even better.
Synthetic biology and genetic modification has gotten, yeah, you're right, it's gotten like a lot of bad press.
GM crops, and genetic engineering and stem cells.
Synthetic biology shouldn't be disregarded straight away purely based on the fact that it doesn't sit right with you.
Personally, I think there's a lot of misinformation and misunderstanding.
I don't think many people actually know what it is at all. I don't think they like messing about with things that in their head shouldn't be.
When people think about genetic modification, they're like, oh my god, it's modified and it's horrible and it's going to mutate and it's going to destroy the world.
To just say that synthetic biology is wrong is too simplistic. What does that even mean for something to be natural? It's not synonymous with something being good or moral.
But they actually don't know, like that you need testing for like 10 years or something, and you need to grow it in certain conditions, and it is checked. It's not like they're just kind of like, oh, I'm just going to put some random thing in there.
None of the stuff we use is harmful at all. I mean, the most dangerous thing that we use is open flames. But
I really can't remember who it was, but this guy was saying, he was at this conference and he was just like, oh, synthetic biology, and someone raised up and he was like, are you not playing God? And the guy sort of thought about it for a minute and he's like, no, I'm not. I'm just playing with all the parts that God gave us to play with.
yeah, we're not actually playing God. We're playing with God's Lego kit.
As long as we adhere to rules and things.
Safety it's ingrained in the mind of every microbiologist. Safety has to come first with everything.
Things like GM crops, a lot of people have very, very negative thoughts about, but the fact is we don't have enough food in the world.
I mean, we need to feed the world somehow.
I think it's important to have alternative means for food and for fuel and stuff, and you can do this by genetic modification of like bacteria and stuff to make fuel, etc. So I think it's a good idea, but it's just not promoted that way.
So why not make something good out of them, something that's useful?
I think it's people fear but don't understand. I know for me, I thought like synthetic biology is a big bad thing where like, you know, I'm going to walk into the lab and catch some deadly disease, go home and forget to wash my hands and die the next day. And you come in and you see how things are done, you realise there's like a lot of safety procedures. Scooby-Doo! It's like you got this big bad like monsters film that everyone's afraid of, and then all of a sudden you pull off the mask and realise it's just a janitor.
Our iGEM project is called Toximup.
It's tackling a local problem. Well, algal blooms are a pretty common problem like everywhere.
Especially in Scotland, things like lochs,
Algae can completely overpopulate that ecosystem. It's algal bloom.
Yellowy, greeny gunk that grows on the lake.
These algal blooms release a toxin which is harmful to humans, animals.
What we wanted to do was we've identified a specific toxin called microcystin that we want to try and target.
And this microcystin is then released into the water. It can be quite dangerous for humans and for animals. It attacks a protein called PP1.
And what it does, it's quite dangerous because it binds to this protein phosphatase and doesn't let go. It's a kind of like
Our sort of aim is to make a mop which can mop up this toxin, and it'll bind this microcystin and it won't be harmful anymore.
We're going to take this PP1 protein from the human DNA and the human cells, and we're going to put that into a bacteria.
And we're trying to produce a bacteria, like genetically modify it, to mop up this microcystin, which is the toxin.
By putting this human protein on the surface of a bacterial cell, hopefully it will then bind the toxin in that way to act somewhat like a mop.
So it's a novel approach to something that really there's not a lot of research inside.
Personal motivations for doing this project. So I really want to go into science.
I love science. Just all science, really.
Science.
I really love microbiology.
We're not just like closed off away in an office being like, oh, science, yes, I do science. That like we're actually informing the public about it, and I think it's great.
I worked in the lab last year and we had a team last year as well at the end of the iGEM competition, and straight away I'm so interested in it. I found it fascinating.
What attracted me to this project, to iGEM in general, is this sort of multidisciplinary approach.
And I thought iGEM was a really good opportunity to get experience in the lab, get experience working in a team, as well as biologists, but with physicists, computing people and mathematicians. Just a good overall experience.
Everybody is coming with different skills and different expertise, and they're coming together as part of a team and representing Dundee and the university.
We meet so many like-minded people.
It's incredible work. This lab is one of the best in the world for what we're doing here.
The reality is the things that will be done with synthetic biology are beyond our comprehension at the moment.
And I think that's it.